You're absolutely right. Things are getting crazy. No, I see it too, Mom, and the food prices are rising. No, it ain't nobody's fault. It's just the COVIDs, Mom. How do I know? Because that's what mainstream media tells me. I believe them, and you should too.
Okay, what we're taking a look at right here is the national debt clock. Remember, these are just the numbers they allow you to see, okay? It says that the U.S. national debt is sitting around $26.5 trillion. That's not entirely true. Down here, if you count unfunded liabilities like Social Security and Medicare, it boosts that number up to $153 trillion. There's only one way you can get to 153 or even 1 trillion. The only way you can get to $1 trillion worth of debt. And remember, here's how big the number trillion is. If you made $1 a second every single day, $1 a second is $84,600 a day. It's roughly $31.5 million a year that you would make. How long do you think you would have to live to collect your first $1 trillion if you made $1 a second? $86,400 a day. How long would you have to live? Just a real quick pop quiz for you. How long would you have to live to earn $1 trillion? This is how big $1 trillion is. And it's very important that we talk about this because people throw around even billion. Billion is a staggering number, guys. They're trying to desensitize us by constantly using trillion now. They never used to talk about billion. They never used to talk about trillion. Now they're talking about trillion all the time. Yeah, exactly. It's around 32,000 years you would have to live earning $1 a second. You would have to be alive earning $1 a second every single day for 32,000 years. I think it's like, if you want to be accurate, it's 31,709 years. Check my math on that. 31,709 or 710 years. Almost 32,000 years to collect your first $1 trillion. That's how massive trillion is. And if you look down here with unfunded liabilities of Social Security and Medicare, $153 trillion. There's no way you can't wrap your head around that. It's just a massive, ridiculous number. And most of that money went into the pockets of the Zionist international bankers, our public enemy number one, and has been since 1913, at least since 1913. And these are just above the board figures that we have no idea what the off the books numbers really are. They've raped us and pillaged us so much. So in light of that, I just wanted to show you this real quick. Have you noticed the skyrocketing beef prices? Check this news article out.
Well, if you thought grocery prices were high a month ago, think again. Just in time for the start of summer, many of the meats that we throw on our grills are spiking in price right now. Consumer reporter John Matarese takes a closer look into the latest price hike so you don't waste your money.
Looking for some steaks to throw on the grill this weekend? Well, you better bring some extra money. The pandemic is sending some grocery prices up again.
That's a lie. The pandemic is not shooting grocery prices up. You know what is? The Federal Reserve. The only tool the Federal Reserve has in their tool chest is debt. All they can throw at a problem is debt. If they can't figure the problem out, well, they'll reach into the toolbox again and grab some more debt. Is the economy good? They'll grab some debt. Is the economy bad? They'll grab some debt. That's all they can do, guys. This isn't a CV-19 problem. This isn't a pandemic problem. This is a plandemic problem. The organized, planned shutdown of the U.S. economy in the second quarter, according to James Bullard from the St. Louis Federal Reserve.
The grill was sizzling at the We Smoking Barbecue in Norwood.
Our headquarters right here.
Tyreek Ramsey has served the community from this food truck for years, but has been forced to raise prices with his pork rib costs up sharply.
We used to be able to get it for maybe like $1.99 a pound, but now we're having to pay almost like $3.99 a pound.
So $1.99 a pound. It used to be, and what he's saying is right. It used to be $1.99 a pound. Let's just round it up to $2. Now it's $3 a pound. $3.99 a pound. Let's round it up to $4. It's doubled in price. Pork prices for this guy have doubled.
Almost like double, triple.
While chicken and ground beef prices are higher, the worst is on steak, where prices have gone up almost 50% on some cuts.
And it's so easy just to blame the scamdemic. It's so easy to blame an invisible enemy when the real enemy is very visible, the Federal Reserve.
At Walmart on Red Bank Road, we found basic strip steaks for $12 a pound, $22 for 2 small shrink-wrapped steaks. One of the cheapest cuts of meat, chuck roast, was $8 a pound. Jackie Thompson says she can't afford it anymore.
It's totally ridiculous, $15 for a steak.
Things weren't much better in the grocery store. Here in Kroger, we found bone-in ribeye at $15 a pound, $21 for 1 small steak.
Guys, we ain't seen nothing yet. This inflation is indicative of what the Federal Reserve is doing with the M2 money supply. We're going to look at the M2 money supply chart here in a second. But this is this correlation. You can draw a line straight from your food prices to the Federal Reserve. This has nothing to do with the pandemic. This has nothing to do with CV19. CV19 is a cover story for what you're seeing right here, to cover up the criminality and the criminal actions of the Federal Reserve.
The Hutchinsons wonder if short supplies are to blame.
It's still pretty thin in the meat aisle for sure.
They're right. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says processing plant shutdowns continue to cause shortages. It says beef prices rose 11% in May, 19% for beef roast. Also up chicken, tomatoes, and even ice cream, the government says. Which means back at We Smoking, Tyreek has to explain why his price board has been going up.
Just had to go up a few more dollars, and a lot of the customers, they kind of understand, we just kind of explain it to them.
Yeah, how are you going to explain it to them when they're wheelbarrowing money or paper to your pork stand here? Watch this. Here's another one. This is from ABC.
Now to the grocery store where prices are on the rise, but it's not all bad news. This morning, shoppers coast to coast are paying more at the supermarket. A new government report shows prices for meat, poultry, fish, and eggs rose by nearly 4% last month. But when you look at the prices now compared to last year, the differences are stark. Beef prices are up 16%, and egg prices up 21% compared to this time last year.
This is back in June, guys. We're in July now, and I'm going to show you it's gone up even more since then.
The coronavirus has caused a major disruption within the food supply chain.
See, everybody's blaming CV19. Everybody's blaming the coronavirus. That shifts the blame away from the real culprits, the Federal Reserve. We should be talking about the Federal Reserve every single day until they're gone. What's going on here is criminal activities. A criminal cartel has slipped in. They have a patsy. Their patsy is CV19. This is their red herring that they've thrown out into the forest, and all the bloodhounds are going for, oh, CV19 must be the problem. It's the pandemic. The reason all this stuff is happening is we had to shut down because of the virus. No, you shut down because of the Federal Reserve. They're out here ruining the economy. They're out here foisting the hidden tax called inflation. They're stealing. What this essentially amounts to is stealing the product of your time and laboring energies. Think about it. When you have a dollar and you work for a dollar, you're trading your time and your intellect and your laboring energies for a container where you can store your time and intellect and laboring energies until your time to deploy it. You deploy it because now it's in this nice little container called the dollar that everybody recognizes, and now you can trade the product of your time and laboring energies with other people. So what they're doing is when there's this hyperinflation, and hyperinflation's coming, we haven't seen it yet, but when you have this thing called inflation, the bankers are literally reaching into your pockets and stealing the product of your time and laboring energies. They're devaluing and dehumanizing you. They're minimizing your labor. They're stealing your labor.
We have this unprecedented demand at the grocery stores.
More people than ever have been eating at home. But as more restaurants reopen after the coronavirus lockdown, prepare for sticker shock on the menu. One report finding restaurants are paying up to 70% more for beef and pork. Back at the supermarket is not all bad news. Coffee prices are down, bread prices too. And not all stores are raising prices in the meat and poultry section. Some have found ways to navigate these unusual times.
What are you doing to keep those prices low?
Well, one of the things we're doing is we're buying direct. I think customers are going to start seeing a flood of items now come on sale.
Experts say buying in bulk from local farms or butchers can save you money. And these prices likely won't last. Government figures show meatpacking facilities, which have been hit hard by the coronavirus, are now operating at 95% capacity.
Guys, do not expect this to get better. Could it get better? Could it ebb and flow? Yeah, sure, it could. But we need what needs to happen, or what I would do, what would be a good idea, is to take the time that we have left, while there's still some perceived value in this right here, is convert your paper notes to something of value. Oh, no, I don't know, like these right here. Convert it to something of value. And the launchers of these, I'm not going to say it. People get their feelings hurt when you start saying it. Grab some of those, some of the other precious metal. What's the other precious metal? Lead, some gold, silver. Definitely, you want to make sure you're stocked up on dry goods, food. You're going to need food because the last thing you want to do is open your cupboard and it's bare, and now you're going to make your way to the grocery store where people are literally killing each other for that last slice of bread that's sitting on that shelf. Look at this right here. It's getting worse, guys. Consumer beef prices rise almost 23%. That's in May. We're in July right now. It's not going to get better. It will not get better. Here's the M2 money supply that I promised I'd show you. Check that out. We increased to 3,000 in 4 months. The last 3,000 increase in the M2 money supply took 4 years. The one previous to this took 4 years to increase 3,000. Now it took 4 months. That's called hyperinflationary period. I have no idea how they're suppressing prices right now. They should be skyrocketing worse than 23% in the meat market. Looks like silver took a hit today. We called this yesterday, guys. It literally went up to $26.15 an ounce, and the low today, the intraday low, was $22.30. It lost almost $3, guys. 15 cents shy of $3 for an intraday low, as opposed to yesterday, just less than 24 hours ago. So we called it yesterday. We said, hey, one of the things that they could do with gold and silver is they could launch a bunch of paper into the market and start temporarily devaluing precious metals, which that looks like that might be what they did. Looks like it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what all is making up this number. It's settled right now at 24.19. Don't expect silver to stay down. You have time to convert your fiat currency notes. The thing that I would start with first, if it was me, if I was a financial advisor, which I'm not, I'm not advising you to do anything. What would be a good idea is buying dry food. People are like, why do you sell this food right here? That's why I sell it. I'm not making this as a commercial. You can buy your food from anywhere. It's preparewithflix.com. You can get it from anywhere. Just get yourself some dry food, store it away. As cash becomes available, buy food, guys. Buy food. Buy food that's going to store. Food that bugs aren't going to get to. Food that's not going to go bad. Buy dry food. Invest in a water purification system. Be a prepper. Be of a prepper mind. Don't wait until the last minute. And that's what everybody else is doing. I bet north of 95% of people out there are waiting to the last minute. If you want this stuff, it's preparewithflix.com. The link's in the description. You don't have to get it from me. Get it from anywhere. Hey, you subscribe. But get it. Get it for your family. Get it for you and for your family. And you're going to need something to protect your food supply and your silver supply and your gold supply if you have it, and your life and your family's life. You're going to need something to protect that stash. Do not forget that. Let me go into the chat room, see what you guys are saying here. Lots of land. Yeah, grow your own food. Exactly. Yeah, that's ideal. Solar panels, grow your own food. Have solar flashlights so you don't have to depend on batteries. Become as self-sufficient. I know every one of us is connected, okay? Every one of us. There's not one person, put a 1 in the room if you're 100% off the grid. You don't buy your food from anybody. You grow everything. You don't use electricity. You don't use running water. You've got your own well. You've got your own pump. You don't have to buy gasoline. If you have to buy gasoline, if you have to buy any fuel source, you're not off the grid. You may be off the grid more than other people, but you're not completely off the grid. MC Rebel, you don't buy fuel? No way. You're completely off the grid. MC Rebel News. If you're completely off the grid where you're not buying food from the stores, you're not buying fuel, I doubt anybody in this room is 100% off the grid. Some people 80%. Yeah, being off the grid would be great. It's just that they're making that more and more and more impossible with each passing day, with satellites in the air, with all the technology that they got. No, I'm not off the grid. I'm using electricity right now. This isn't solar electricity. I'm very much on the grid, guys. It's not cheap going off the grid, says Strata. That's absolutely right. And it's very inconvenient, guys. It's so convenient to just hop in the car, in an air-conditioned, climate-controlled car, and drive to the grocery store and pick up food that other people grew for you, that other people packaged for you, and just go to the checkout counter and pay for it and go home and throw it into your refrigerator, which is powered by the power company. It's so convenient. If you've ever lived off the grid, you know how much more inconvenient it is. It'd probably be a good idea to even the Amish around here, they're on the grid. They're driving modern vehicles with gasoline in the tank, going home, and they have electric lines run to their house. They're on the grid. But yeah, being as much off the grid as possible, being self-sustained, self-sufficient, self-aware, self-determined, realize and understand self-defense. And then you can be more off the grid, and then you position yourself. You're in a way better place than all these other people who are highly connected, and they have no idea what to do when the electricity goes out. When it goes dark, they're scrambling for matches and a candle. They probably don't even own candles because they're not ready. That's how unprepared a lot of people are. They don't even have candles. They don't have a lighter on hand. And if they do, they got to search their junk drawer, or they got to go all around the house to find a flashlight. People are just not self-sufficient. Yep, convenience has made us soft. What is that saying? I love that saying. Good times create soft men. Soft men create hard times. Hard times create good men, or strong men, and strong men create good times. And then it becomes cyclical again. But yeah, good times create soft men. They really do. And hard times create strong men. So it's this catch-22, man. You start learning, and you increase in technology. You increase in knowledge. You put all this stuff out there that's beneficial to man, that makes things convenient. It's nice to have a refrigerator. It's nice to have a freezer. It's nice to have clean running water where if you're dirty, you just go in there and you take a shower. And you don't have to go out to the well and pump your water out of your own well by your own hands. It's just there, right there at the faucet. It's like magic. It is really nice to have. I just wanted to let you guys know, food prices are skyrocketing, and they're not going to stop. They may abate a little bit, and may even pull back some. But guys, you cannot have an M2 money supply like this and not have detrimental economic effects. What's happening is not CV-19. What's happening is economic terrorism foisted on us by the most criminal, highly organized, most evil, most powerful organization on the entire planet called the Federal Reserve. The Zionist International Banking Cartel. They have their hands in everybody's pie. Everybody. Don't kid yourselves. Become as self-sufficient as you can. And while you have time, let me wrap this up. While you have time, while you have fiat currency that people perceive to be of value today, you have the power to convert this into something that's actually worth something. We can take that which is inherently worthless and turn it into something worthwhile. That's why I got the BULLET in front of the old Benjamin Franklin. This is an FMJ, by the way. This is a Full Metal Jacket. When you buy bullets for self-defense, you don't want FMJs. You want hollow points. You want something that's going to go into center mass. And if somebody's breaking through your house, you don't want this to go straight through them. You want it to mushroom out and grab as many vital organs as possible. I know that sounds gross, but if you want a man stopper, you don't want FMJs. This is the quickest bullet I could grab as I was about to go live. FMJs are great practice rounds. This is what you want to spend on the target range. Okay, the practice range. Don't load FMJs for your home defense weapon. Not a good idea, especially if the guy's on LSD and he's coming at you. You could pump 8, 9, 10 bullets into him. He's still going to come after you. But if you empty his gut, or if you empty his heart of all the blood, max, he's got 43 seconds of energy to come after you. Use the time that you have left to convert this into something of value. Like, I would say you need at least a 6 month food supply. A food supply that's not going to go bad, a food supply that is locked in where bugs can't get to it. It won't deteriorate or erode or lose its nutritional value. You need at least a 6-month food supply. We've seen some crazy crap happen in the past month that we never thought would happen in the United States of America. People fighting over toilet paper and disinfectant sprays, reports coming in from all over the place of empty store shelves, no meat, no chicken, no eggs, the rice is gone. The last thing you want to do is be at a store fighting over food with the rest of the lemmings. But you can sidestep all that by going to my website, preparewithhighimpactflix.com, where you can pick up a couple months worth of delicious, nutritious, 2,000 calorie a day food that can store for up to 25 years. The site is preparewithhighimpactflix.com, and I'll throw that in the description and in the pinned comment for you. Never underestimate the power of stupid people in large crowds. It's better to have a food supply and not need it than to need it and not have it.